Flat Earth memes crumble the moment you step outside. You want proof? Give me 15 minutes, a camera, a humble drone, and I will show you how you can see the sunset twice in one day. Flat Earthers believe that any picture or video on the internet that prove a globe Earth is faked. And my answer to that is simple. Just go outside and look for yourself. When I ran this little experiment, it was a little bit more windy than I would have liked, completely ruining my audio. However, it was a perfect opportunity to catch a double sunset. To view a phenomenon that is simply impossible on a flat Earth, you only have to change one variable, which is your height. So if you can go straight up about a football field for all you American folks that don't believe in standard measurement units, you can see this phenomenon for yourself. All you really need is a flat expanse and a clear view of the sun setting, and a way to quickly increase your height just after the sun sets. Because, and I'll say the quiet part out loud, flat earthers don't get out much, and it shows. If you spend one evening with the sunset, you will see the curvature of the earth for yourself. Stick around and I'll show you exactly what I captured and how you can copy it, no matter where you live. The gear I used for my experiment is as follows. My trusty Sony Alpha 7S II shooting at 4K resolution with a frame rate of 25 frames per second through a zoom lens set to its maximum of 240mm. Since the video project is 1080p, this allowed me to zoom in a little further in production to give you a better view of what the camera sees. To get the rapid increase in height just after sunset, I used the Mavic Pro drone. Much better drone exists these days, but any drone that can get up to about 100 meters high will do. I also used an Insta360 X4 for B-roll, so if you want to make a YouTube video like this one, they are nice because it allows you to reframe and catch the action afterwards, allowing you to get on with your experiment. The ocean is due west from Walvis Bay and usually smothered by fog in the evenings. I waited quite some time to get a clear horizon on the sunset. When the forecast was for a clear sunset, I jumped at the opportunity. You can do this on any very large flat plain, salt pans or wheat fields. Large bodies of water just gives you the added benefit of seeing how water does, indeed, curve. The audio is muted here because the mic only caught gale force whoosh. Consider this an authentic silence. The 240mm lens makes the sun huge and dramatic. Watch the lower limb squash, spread, and finally pinch off. Dense air near the water is doing that. While the zoom camera is running, I also recorded the same sunset with the drone sitting on the ground. Notice that it has a much wilder field of view, but the light from the sun disappears at the same time on both cameras. I'll leave the zoom camera running just to show you that you can only see the second sunset at a higher altitude. No magical sun rising for a second time on the ground camera. On a pizza flat world, the story would end right here. But sailors, hikers, and airline passengers know different. Gain altitude, gain daylight. We're about to join that club with a flying tripod. To illustrate what you're about to see, I've set up a little demonstration just in my house here, with a purple ball representing the Earth and the green one representing the sun, setting slowly being occluded from the bottom right there. So the next step, of course, is to raise the camera just a little bit, and then you can see how it is possible on a globe to see the sun appearing again. The challenge here, of course, is for any flat earther to replicate this on a flat plane and get exactly the same occlusion from the bottom. With our little demonstration out of the way, we're back on the beach, and as you can see, the sun has just completely set on both cameras. So when the drone takes off now, you'll slowly see the disk of the sun appearing from behind the horizon again. So it's quite important when you do run this experiment yourself to just go straight up, don't introduce any other variables. And to illustrate that I'm going straight up here, I actually flipped the gimbal on the drone down so you can see my takeoff spot straight below the drone. And then back to the horizon. And I'm thinking I'm pretty much on 100 meters above the takeoff point here. And you can clearly see the sun on the drone and not on the ground-based camera. What is quite nice is that layer of cloud there on the horizon reflecting the sun. So if you look really closely, you can actually see the sun setting below the clouds, which is also another phenomena that is simply impossible on a flat Earth. And as the last rays of sunlight disappear there, the wind is actually pushing the drone away to the right here. And to confirm that that is the case, I actually look down again. And you can see the ground slowly moving sideways. To correct for this, I actually push back to the left, and you can see the horizon tilting and the last rays of the sunlight disappearing there on the clouds. Now from here I start descending with the show over. This is a beautiful sunset, and I was so happy to be able to catch it twice on that day. Flat earthers typically pick apart any video online that contradicts their beliefs, and so to head this off, I'll address a few common objections right now. Camera tilt. This is completely irrelevant. The sun is clearly visible on the drone, and the ground-based camera did not move or change its direction. You can clearly see the buildings on the horizon stay stationary in the same general area. Refraction. Refraction is a thing, and you can see the interplay of refraction on the ground-based camera. As you can see, refraction distorts the shape of the objects from whose light it refracts. In the drone footage, you can clearly see the disk of the sun under the layer of clouds that is on the horizon. Perspective shrinkage. I'll be making a companion video to show you exactly how perspective works in the real world. However, to keep it short, you can see further with a lens with a longer focal length, because that magnifies the objects in your field of view. The ground-based camera had a 240mm lens, and the drone only has 28mm. So if the sun were truly have shrunken to the size where you can't see it anymore, no amount of altitude gain on the drone would have brought it back into view. Fisheye effect, completely irrelevant. For in this instance, we only care that the sun is visible, not the shape of the horizon. Both the Mavic Pro and the 24 to 240mm lens on the ground-based camera are equirectangular lenses, which means it doesn't distort the image. To see the fisheye effect, you can look at the Insta360 footage where it's clearly visible. Crafty edits and faking this video. This is the whole point of this video today, is so you can run this experiment. You can see with your own eyes. If you just take a drone and fly it straight up just after sunset, you'll see the sun again. All you need is a drone or somebody that has a drone and willing to play along with you, a wide expanse and a clear view of the sunset. To help you run this experiment, I'll show you quickly how to do it. Once you have a drone and obtained the permission to fly it legally, you need to choose a spot where you can see this phenomenon. As mentioned before, you need a large flat area. A large body of water is preferred, but any large plane would show you the same effect. Any other photographic gear you want to bring along is completely up to you. Then you need to check the weather forecast to ensure a cloudless sky and get the time of the sunset for that area. Google and Windy are your friends here. Arrive at the spot at least 20 minutes before the sun is due to set. Of course, arrive as early as you like. A trip out in nature is fun in and of itself. Wait for the sun to touch the horizon. Sit your drone on the ground with a camera pointing at the sunset and start recording without taking off with the drone. Wait for the sun to completely disappear from the drone ground-based perspective. After a few seconds to make sure the sun has completely set, take off with the drone and fly straight up with a camera pointing at where the sun had just set. Get the drone up as high as local regulations allow, or as high as the drone can go, whichever one is lower, and watch the sunset for a second time. If you have liked this video, thank you very much. Should you have any comments, please add them now. I'll be working on more videos that show you how you can easily debunk a flat earth, so subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss it. In the meantime, links to more of this channel's videos will appear on the screen now. Click on them to watch other ways in which a flat earth simply doesn't make sense for anybody with a little bit of sense.